Crazy Kennar first visited South Africa through a collaboration, a brand awareness collaboration event. And there's a bit of noise coming from the background. I apologize. Anyway, he first went to South Africa with a brand, like a brand trip. Oh, it was the Visit South Africa, I think, initiative, awareness, something. And when he went there, he's like, wow, this is such a beautiful country. I would want to study here. And officially, he started studying in South Africa. He's on a 3-year course of creative writing in South Africa. So oftentimes, he has to go back and forth between Kenya and South Africa simply because he still has projects happening here. He still has work here. He still has other engagements here. So, of course, he's going to be in SA during the week for his classes. And sometimes on the weekends, he's here in Nairobi doing what he needs to do, working on what he needs to work on, doing his job here as a content creator and as a public figure. And I'm just like, that sounds so expensive. So expensive. And yes, it is expensive because a flight from South Africa to Kenya to and fro is about 130,000 Kenya shillings. So imagine him coming every single weekend. 130,000 Kenya shillings is just flight. As in, ndege. Umepanda ndege ukafika. Ujakula, ujaoga, ujaenda kwa hizi ma engagements zenye unasema, hauja, you've done nothing else but ni kama umechukua matatu from Tao to, from your house in Roy to town. Bado hujafanya kenye ulikuwa unakuja kufanya town. So basically his spend is about 520K around there on, I think, a monthly basis. That's involving rent, because you have to rent both places, right? You have a house in South Africa, you have a house in Kenya. You have to involve food and travel and logistics. You have to involve your call time, because obviously at this point you have to have either on Roam or something, as in you have to be on phone, accessible by phone, right? So you know how expensive roaming is? Roaming is... So Crazy Kennar has been talking about his spend, but he says, according to him, it's an investment in his future. He knows that this will pay off eventually, and so he's willing and able to do it, and therefore he will continue to do it. In fact, I quote, he said, "During the week, I am in South Africa, and during the weekends, I am in Kenya. In South Africa, I am in school, a film school where I study creative writing in one of the best film schools in Africa." And he continues to actually say that he travels quite a bit, and it really also gives him a chance to get the things that he can't get in South Africa. And he jokes about it and say, for example, salt. You can't get Ken salt in South Africa, so inabidi unakuja home ndio upate, which is just like, okay. You can tell when somebody has money based on how they talk. As in, unajua siwezi pata, siwezi pata chai, Kericho gold in South Africa, so I have to come back to Nairobi to get a little bit of stuff and then go back. I'm just like, oh, you sound like money. That's what you sound like. And he said that for the most part, a ticket is about 130,000 Kenya shillings. It might be expensive, but why am I doing it? I treat it like an investment of the mind. And I'm like, I love it. I love it for him. I love it. I love everything about this story. Like spending 520,000 Kenya shillings per month, basic on just travel, and having to pay rent for both places, having to do all of these things for both places. Because si ati maji yako yenye inatumika Nairobi autalipia juu uko Nairobi. No. That's not how that works. Simply because December is coming and you're only going to be using your bathroom. Unaingia, unaoga, unatoka. Unadhani rent yako itakuwa tu ya bafu? Apana, excuse me. Rent ni ya nyumba mzima. So I love it for him. Like, Crazy Kennar has worked really hard to get to where he's at. So I want to be like you.
Congratulations. Honestly, I feel so inspired when I hear other people talk about how they're budgeting, how they're moving forward. It just kind of ignites a fire in you, like, you know what? I need to up my money. I need to be doing better.